Obsidian Series 1000D Super Tower PC case. It is the biggest and most feature-rich case Corsair has ever made. So you might ask, like, why did you guys build this ridiculously huge PC case? It's not just because it's cool, it actually has a purpose. You can actually build two full systems inside this case at the same time. So if you were streaming, you can game on one system and capture that video and stream it out on the other system. So in your room, you no longer need two full desktops. The primary motherboard tray is compatible with up to an extended ATX motherboard with 8 expansion slots. Some of those slots can be rotated so you can actually have a vertical GPU mount if you want. The secondary motherboard tray is integrated into the PSU shroud and actually includes 2 expansion slots and a mini ITX compatible mount. But don't worry, we didn't forget about you liquid cooling guys. All of our Obsidian Series cases have been built with liquid cooling in mind. In front of the case, there's room for 2 480mm radiators. And on top, there's room for a 420mm radiator. In the rear, there's room for 220mm or 140mm fans and a 240mm radiator. One of my favorite features of the Obsidian Series 1000D are the slide-out radiator trays. They make it easier than ever to install fans and radiators to build up a liquid cooling system. The front and top trays come out and actually can be completely replaced. By default, they have 4 120 or 3 140s. And if that weren't enough, you can go to Corsair.com and buy new radiator trays that have 8x120, 4x120, 3x140, or even 2x200mm fan compatibility. So you can customize this thing however you want. The Obsidian Series 1000D comes with a Corsair Commander Pro, which allows full software control of cooling and lighting. Through iCUE, you can control your RGB fans, you can control the logo and the I/O panel RGB, and you can set up fan profiles. So if you want to optimize your system for quiet operation or high performance cooling operations, you can do that with a click of a button. So when you install all the motherboards and all the fans and all the systems and all the stuff that's in this case, you might be thinking, what about my cables? I have no cable routing skills at all. It's going to be a nightmare. We actually thought about that. We put these French doors on the rear of the case that allow you to conceal your cables. So no matter how bad those cable routing skills you have are, it's gonna look nice and clean. And also behind those French doors are 8 SSD mounts and 5 3.5-inch mechanical drive bays. Our Obsidian Series cases are known for their monolithic good looks, and the 1000D is no exception, with a tempered glass front panel and 2 huge swing-out tempered glass doors for easy access. The I/O panel has the connectivity for both systems right on the front of the case, with 4 USB 3.0 and 2 USB 3.1 Type-C connectors to go to both motherboards. The power and reset for System 1 is on top, and the power and reset for System 2 is in the back. And the I/O RGB backlighting is completely controllable through iCUE software. Dual power supply mounts, including an SFX power supply for the mini ITX system, pre-drilled radiator and reservoir mounts just about anywhere you look, and cable routing cutouts and tie downs all through the case. This feature list reads like a phone book, guys. Check out Corsair.com for more info.
Darkbase Pro 900 is the crown jewel of our PC cases. It offers tons of building space, outstanding flexibility, impeccable cooling, and of course the world famous Be Quiet silence. Since the release of Darkbase Pro 900, some of our fans often expressed the wish for a white version. A request we are more than happy to comply with. Be Quiet proudly presents the Darkbase Pro 900 White Edition. It's a limited special edition of our high-end case that was created specifically with our most enthusiastic fans in mind. And it packs all the amazing features of its dark brother in white garments. As with all of our products, the White Edition of Darkbase Pro 900 has been conceived and designed by our German engineers, who also supervise production of the case with a very keen eye. Developing the white case was a very elaborate process, because it's much more complex than just spray painting a black case white. Instead, all the white parts for this edition were separately produced and assembled. It took a lot of skilled hands to combine the many individual components into the stunning final result. You may ask yourself why we speak in past tense here. That's easy. As mentioned before, the White Edition is only a limited run and will not be produced any further. Manufacturing has already concluded. As already mentioned, the White Edition has all the great features that made the original Darkbase Pro 900 a huge success, such as unrivaled flexibility, which makes it possible to relocate the motherboard tray, completely invert the layout, reposition the HDD slots, and use motherboards with up to XL80X in size. 3 pre-installed Silent Wings 3 fans ensure perfect cooling and whisper quiet operation. Additional fans and water cooling solutions with radiators of up to 420mm can be installed. The White Edition is completely sound insulated, features an elegant side panel window made of tempered glass, matching the color of the case, and boasts a lot of other cool extras like the Qi charger, which wirelessly charges Qi-enabled devices such as your smartphone. In short, the White Edition is a full-fledged Darkbase Pro 900. We already mentioned that the White Edition is something very special, and there's only 2,000 of them. Each case is one of a kind, proudly sporting an individually numbered aluminium badge behind the glass window. If you want to be the lucky owner of one of these beauties, you had better hurry. So good luck, we hope you have lots of fun with your Darkbase Pro 900 White Edition.
Hi everybody, what's up? We're back in the workshop today. We just launched this guy here, the H500M, and now it's available everywhere. But it's so packed of features that I would like to run through them and maybe teach you something that you have never seen in other reviews. We're going to have a full roundup of this case. I'm going to teach you how to swap the panels and how to use the cable cover system. And this is going to be a very packed video, so I'm going to put timestamps in the description so you can just take the topic that you're most interested into. So if you're ready, let's just roll the intro and then we can start. So if we take a look at the front panel now, there is the mesh pre-installed, and the mesh is like the best option for overclockers and people who want the maximum airflow possible in their system. Of course, we have also this guy here, which is the glass plate, and let me show you how to swap them, because it's really easy. Once you remove the front panel, just place it on the table and you see 8 rubberized screws. Just take them out. Once everything is unscrewed, just lift the panel, keeping the mesh in place. Now take your mesh, replace it with the glass, put the panel back on top of it, and just screw it back. Okay, so as you can see now, our system is super clean. We can take a look at the 2 big fans, and actually, as you can see, we got 2 200mm ARGB fans. If you want to know more about ARGB and how it works and what is the difference between normal RGB and addressable RGB, just write me in the comment, because this is a very interesting topic and I think that a lot of you guys would like to learn more about it. By the way, the 2 fans are connected to a controller, and if you so desire, you can actually hook up the reset switch connector to the controller, and you can use the button in the front to change the pattern and the color of your fans. The controller is located here, behind this cable cover, and this is a very strategic position because, as you may know, with all the fan cables and all the ARGB cables, we always have a mess. So now you can use the lower part of the system to actually cable manage everything and actually achieve a very clean looking back. If you want to replicate this kind of look, all you need to do is cable manage everything, but don't spend too much time on it. Then place the first cover, and with this you can lock everything in place. Then after that you can decide if you want to place the second cover and the third one if you actually use the controller or not. We give the option, so the choice is on you. One thing though that I would like to highlight here is the new peg system that we have introduced with this particular case. The peg system basically allows you to mount the SSD, but in a toolless way. Before, this was the solution that we had on the old master case line. Now everything is toolless. The SSD can just sit, and with friction it can hold itself. Actually, on the H500M we have in total 6 spots where you can mount your SSDs. 2 of them are here in the back, but let me flip the case and show you the other 4 ones. So now that you can see the internal part, here we find a couple more SSD spots. And actually you can see that there is not only SSD spots on this cable cover, but we have also included some rails for water cooling. And actually here below the GPU there is an anti-sag GPU holder that you can actually remove if you don't use, so you're free to decide, even in this case. And as I said before, we got a couple more extra on the PSU shroud. Now, last but not least, the top panel. This is full tempered glass, and actually you can just remove it by unscrewing the little screw on the back. And just below it we found this very interesting fan bracket. This design allows you to have a very clean looking top, whether you're air cooling, water cooling, or you're not putting any things on top. So now, let's wrap up this video, and I'm sure that you have noticed that I used a lot of ifs during the explanation of the tech inside the H500M. And well, this is the whole point of this case. If you're using water cooling, if you're using air cooling, if you're overclocking, all this covers the modular system inside the case, the beautiful panels. Basically, they sum up in a very simple concept. We want you to be happy with the system that you have now and with the system that you will have in the future, because this case will last for a lot of time. And let's face it, A person that invests into this kind of case won't change it over time very soon. And this is why we want to support every possible upgrade. Now guys, I'm asking you a question, because I'm going to cover more cases in the future and probably the products are going to change. If you want to see more about the H500M, like, I don't know, a dedicated video to the controller or a dedicated video on how to water cool the system, let me know down here in the comments. And guys, thanks, because I know it was hard, for putting up with my Italian accent for the whole duration of this video. You guys are the best. And yeah, see you in the next one.